everyone, this is Palmi Modi from Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Today we are going to discuss the topic drug discovery and development. The first of all we will discuss the objectives, why we need to discover a drug, know the processes involved in the drug discovery and development, what is the role of the pharmacologist in the drug discovery and development, know about the difficulties and dangers inherent in the drug development process. So first of all, starting with the topic, what is a drug? In a simple definition, it is a medication, a chemical substance is used to treat, cure, prevent or diagnose a disease. A drug which can be inhaled, injected, consumed or absorbed via patch under the skin and dissolved under the tongue, which causes a physiological changes into the body. If we talk about the traditional medicine, that were obtained from the extraction of the plants, but now it is obtained from the organic synthesis. Let us start with the drug development process. The drug development phase is a significantly more expensive in term of time and money. First of all, if we talk about the money, the average overall expense for a new drug discovery, that is almost $800 million. And why we are telling that is the time consuming process? On an average, if we are taking 10,000 structure for the synthesis, amongst them only 500 structure will reach to the animal testing, 10 will reach to the phase 1 clinical trial, and if all the passes, if any one single structure passes, one will reach to the marketplace. So let us see the graph for the drug discovery and development process. First of all, we need to identify disease, isolation of the protein, that almost 2 to 5 years. Next, find a drug effective against the disease protein. Next step, that is the preclinical testing, scale up, IND, human clinical trials, NDA approval and FDA approval, and the marketing. So if you see the graph, here all the pharmaceutical branches are involved. How we can say all the pharmaceutical branches are involved? If you see the identify the disease, isolate a protein and find a drug. Up to that, medicinal chemistry and analytical chemistry involved. Next you can see the rabbit, that is the preclinical testing. That preclinical testing, of course, that goes for the pharmacology department. Next, that is the scale-up formulation, which involves the pharmaceutics department, IND and ND application. That again involved with the regulatory affairs department, clinical trials and clinical trials, like that is the pharmacovigilance department. Again the bulk formulation and that is for the pharmaceutics department. So here we can say the whole pharmaceutical branch involved. The technology is impacting this process. First we have to identify the disease, particular on which disease we need to work. If we identify the disease, in which disease we need to work, then after we need to isolate a particular protein, on which protein we need to work. Then we have to identify the genome sequence, proteomics, biopharm, the potentially producing many more targets and personalized targets. After identifying or isolating the particular protein structure, we need to perform molecular modeling studies. Molecular modeling studies, that is the computer based molecular modeling studies. Here high throughput screening, combinatorial chemistry, after that perform. Virtual screening also can be performed, and we can identify the lead compound, a lead molecule we can identify. On the lead molecules, we can perform the in vitro and in silico ADME models. So this is the chart of the discovering and development of the one drug. It takes almost, here you can see it takes almost 10 to or 15 to 20 years. In the basic research, it takes almost 3 to 6 years, almost 10,000 to 30,000 substances that we have to synthesis, examination and screening. Screening, first of all, in vitro kit based enzyme based assay. Amongst them, the most potent compound, most potent in case of 10 to 20 compounds, that goes for the preclinical testing, that is the animal testing. Amongst all 10 to 20 compound, most potent 5 to 10 compounds that goes for the phase 1 clinical trial, 2 to 5 compound phase 2 clinical trial, and from 2 to 5 compound most potent, the most active 2 compounds that goes for the phase 3 clinical trial, that is the human clinical trial. These phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trial almost takes 5 to 10 years. Now if we talk about the after that, IND application, FDA application, that is 1 to 2 years, and that is then after post marketing surveillance, that is the phase 4 clinical trial. So we can say if one molecule reach to the market, that almost takes 15 to 20 years with lots of expenses. Now, the major issues involved in the drug development. The drug has to be tested to ensure that it is not only safe and effective, but it can be administered in a suitable route. There are the various patenting and legal issues. The drug has to be synthesized in ever increasing quantity for the testing and eventual manufacture. This is also involved in the chemical and process development. Now we will talk in detail regarding the drug discovery process. First of all, during the drug discovery, during the lead identification, first of all we need to choose a disease. Pharmaceutical companies tend to concentrate on developing countries for a disease which are preventable in developed countries and aim to produce compounds with better properties than the existing drug. If we talk about the Asian countries, the diabetes, tuberculosis, malaria, that are the more common diseases. The pharmaceutical company have to consider economic factor as well as medicinal ones when they decide which disease to target and when designing a new drug. So for the Asian countries, as I previously said, diabetes, tuberculosis and malaria, which are the most common disease. So we can select the disease amongst them, we can select the one disease amongst them, because we have to invest a huge during this research and development. Therefore, companies must have to ensure they get good financial research for their investment. As a result, a research project tend to focus on a disease that are important in developed world because it is the best market for new drugs. The second step, first we have to identify a disease. For an example, we have identified disease that we are going to work on anti-tuberculosis. Now we have identified a disease. Now we have to identify a target, the TB, which contains a lots of targets. So we have to select a particular one target on which target we need to work. So first of all, drug target. Once a therapeutic area, means once a disease identification has been completed, the next stage is to identify a suitable drug target where the drug will bind to that particular receptor or with enzyme. So for that we have to understand biomacromolecules for particular disease which is important. This will allow the medicinal chemist whether the agonist or antagonist to be designed. It means a medicinal chemist going to design a agonist, antagonist or inhibitors for particular enzyme. Here I said I have selected anti-tubercular target. Okay, I mean disease. These are the targets for anti-tuberculosis. You can see the lots of targets. So particularly we need to select a target in that. Means we need to select only a one target and we have to prepare enzyme inhibitors or agonist or antagonist for that. Okay. So next step, after selecting a disease, selecting a target, we need to find a lead compound that we can identify by existing me too drugs. The drugs which having the same like properties of the drug based on the computer aided drug design, computerized searching of structural databases. What is lead compound? If we talk about the lead compound, structure that has some activity against the chosen target. if we assume any structure that must have any activity which we have choose the target, but not yet good enough to be a drug in itself, but it is not a drug, a compound, a lead which may active against the chosen target. If not known, determine the structure that is called as a lead compound. Finding a lead compound, once the therapeutic target and once the disease and target we have chosen, the next step is the finding the lead compound. A lead compound which shows the desired pharmaceutical activity. The level of the activity may not be great and there may be undesirable side effect. The lead compound provides a start for a drug design and development process. So, here the drug design and development process start. The disease identification and the target identification, that are the very basic steps. The next step, that is the lead identification. Here the chemistry department, pharmaceutical chemistry department, where actually work the drug design and development process. Screening of the synthetic compounds. Many marketed libraries are available to screen the databases on particular targets, and we can from that we can identify the lead. Thousands of compounds have been synthesized. The majority of these compounds have not been used in the market, so they have been stored as a libraries. So pharmaceutical companies screen their library to study a new target and find a lead compound based on the computer aided design. Knowledge of the target. Once we have identified the disease, now we have a knowledge of the particular target where we have to bind our drug. So we have a knowledge of the target. So when we have a knowledge of the target, where the site aids in the design of novel compound intended to bind with the target, means when the lead molecule which we are going to synthesize, where it will bind, we must have to know. The enzyme and receptor can be crystallized, and it can be possible to determine the crystal structure by X-ray crystallography. Molecular modeling softwares are also used to identify the binding sites. For that, molecular docking analysis, pharmacophore modeling, and molecular dynamic study. For molecular docking analysis, first of all we will talk about the pharmacophore modeling. Here you can see the example, that is the pharmacophore model. Here the compound, here the structure that is fit to the pharmacophore model, and according to the according to that we can obtain the fit value, and we can identify the estimated biological activity. What is pharmacophore? The structural features directly responsible for the activity. Means a lead compound, the predicted lead compound that fit to the pharmacophore, and that estimate or predict the biological activity before synthesize that compound. Before we synthesize the compound, that predicted the activity. Obvious, if with a potent compound, then and then only we are going to predict, we are going to synthesize. That is the pharmacophore modeling. The molecular docking study. If we are talking about the Caspase-1, the protein data bank that contains the PDB-ID. The protein data bank that contains the PDB-ID, we have to download that crystal structure, protein structure, and we have to dock with the molecular docking study. According to binding site, the compound will bind with the particular binding site and gives the interaction with the essential amino acids, and that gives the binding score. The more negative binding score, that gives the more efficiently drug bind to that particular receptor. Here in this image we can see the interaction of the amino acids that will bind with the receptor and give its biological activity. Next, once we identify the lead compound, that is next part, again the chemistry departmental, that we have to synthesize in a bulk production. But before synthesize, we have to identify a bioassay that includes choice of bioassay, in vitro test, in vivo test, and test validity. What is a bioassay? A test used to determine biological activity. The particular target in which we need to perform the biological activity, the test which we need to determine. First of all, choice of bioassay. Choosing a right bioassay is a crucial to success of a drug research and development program. The test should be simple, quick and relevant as there are usually a large number of compounds to be analyzed. At this early stage, I mean with the n number of lead molecules, we cannot perform animal testing as well as human clinical trials. So first of all, we need to perform in vitro test, which is very cheaper, easier to carry out and less controversial. In vitro test, enzyme inhibitions, receptor agonist antagonist with specific tissues, cells or enzymes we have to perform. For an example, antibacterial drugs. In vitro, by measuring how efficiently they inhibit or kill the bacteria in cell culture. Then after we need to perform in vivo test, that is the animal testing. Amongst we identify most potent 10 to 20 compound on enzyme based, I mean kit based, that will further go for the in vitro test, that is the animal testing. The lots and number of molecule we cannot go for we cannot opt for the animal testing. We have to opt only a small number of molecules for the animal testing. So for an example, if we are doing the activity of the NSAIDs, so on that animal testing rat poedema model, we have to take a rat and determine the toxicity and efficacy in the model. There are the several problems using the in vivo testing. It is a slow and very time consuming. There are also many problems pharmacokinetic and a result of results are misleading. For an example, penicillin. A methyl ester of is hydrolyzed in a mice in active penicillin, while it is not hydrolyzed into the human or rabbit. The known example of thalidomide, which produce teratogenicity in humans and rabbit, but while it is not produced in the mice. So identifying a bioassay is also one of the important criteria. Once you identify the bioassay, you have to start up the synthesis. The next step, that is the synthesis, purification, I mean isolation and purification. If a lead compound is presented in a mixture of other compound, it has to be isolated and purified. The isolation and purification depends upon the structure, stability and quantity of the compound. Once you isolate and purified the compound, obvious the part of the analytical department, they have to determine the structure. X-ray crystallography, NMR spectroscopy, that is the 1H NMR, 13th NMR and nitrogen NMR, mass spectroscopy and IR spectroscopy, that are the important structural determination. So these are the basic steps. Identify a disease, then after identify the target when the lead molecule going to the bind. Once the disease and target identification is completed, we have to identify the lead based on the pharmacophore modeling, molecular docking and molecular dynamic study. Here this step we are also performing the high throughput screening, virtual screening, that is the large number of database to identify the lead molecules. Then after once we identify the lead molecules, we have to next step perform the identify the based bioassay method. Once we identify the bioassay method, then after we have to start the synthesis and analysis. Once we complete with the analysis, of course that is the bioassay method identification. To perform the bioassay method, amongst them the most potent compounds go for the in vitro clinical trials. In vitro clinical trials, after that on animal testing, the most potent compound we have to file the IND application, that is the investigational new drug application. After filing the investigational new drug application, then we can perform the clinical trial study. Means we have to patent the drug, IND application, and then after you can start the clinical trial studies. So the clinical trial studies, that is the phase 1 clinical trial, small group of people, that is the 20 to 80 people, individuals that do not have disease. Eventually evaluate the safety, common side effects, determine a safe dosage form, identify the side effects, that is almost zero point 0.5 to 1.5 years. Next step, that is uh, uh, the lead molecules that passes the phase 1 clinical trial, then that goes to the phase 2 clinical trial, that are the larger group of people, 10, that is 100 to 300 people with disease effectiveness. We have to check the effectiveness with the disease, further evaluate its safety and dosage up to 2 years. The drugs which passes the phase 2 clinical trial, then that drug goes for the phase 3 clinical trial. And here the graph shows we started with the 10,000 to 30,000 structure, and the only 2 to 5 structure will goes to the phase 3 clinical trial. The large group of people, to confirm the effectiveness, whether it is effective or not effective, to check the side effects, compare its common used treatment, interaction with any other medications, or multicentral trial we have to perform. After performing the phase 3 clinical trial, the only one molecule, one or two molecule will go to the FDA approval. After getting the FDA approval, the pharmaceutical companies go for the bulk production and manufacturing formulation process. So again, that is the part of the Sutix department. So optimizing target interaction. Once the lead compound has been discovered, it can be used as a starting point for the drug design. The drug should have a good selectivity for its target. The drug should have a good level of activity for its target. Drug should have a minimum side effects. Drug should have easily synthesized. It should be chemically stable, acceptable pharmacokinetic properties, and non-toxic. These all the criteria that have to fulfill, and then they can be filed for FDA approval. Once they get FDA approval, they have to start the bulk formulation and start the formulation parameters. Thank you. So we need thank you.